Hey, good evening, everybody. John Henry Soto here. Welcome to JHS Interviews. Tonight, I have dancer, improv, one of the funniest guys I've ever met, and he happens to be my best friend. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to JHS Interviews, Clayton Bartner. Clayton.
If you're watching this video, I have already passed away. I leave my fortune to John's youngest child, Ben, whose middle name is Clayton. He named his son after me. How's John doing? Is he okay? Is he freaking out? I can't look at him.
Yeah, you know how it would suck if you just died after this.
I was gonna go. Like that's too dark. Really, I took it out in my dress rehearsal.
That is so dark.
No.
All right, let's try to do this because you know how it is. Clayton is one of these people, the only person that in my life that I'm with a bunch of people, and Clay and I have another show going on, and we're laughing, and people around are like, "What are they like?" Because we're just so in tune with it. So I do actually appreciate you doing this. I know that it's been go ahead.
Oh, thank you. I'll always do this gesture when I want you to shut up. No. I only agreed to do this because, believe it or not, this is the only way I could spend time with John. Otherwise, does he answer my phone? No. I text? No.
That's not true.
Oh, yeah, spend an hour with me. No problem. Look what he put in the green room. Animal crackers. Animal crackers in the green room. Okay?
That's all I got. We ran out of Stelladoras.
It's okay. Sorry. I love animal crackers. He sent them Federal Express. It was wonderful.
Yeah, it was amazing. And I got that room green, which was pretty impressive.
Oh, so, I see myself so much clearer now.
So, Clayton, let's talk a little bit about, because you and I have known each other a very long time. Like I said, you were best man at my wedding. You were there for me during really, really dark times in my life. You helped me a lot through a lot of things. And but you have this career in dance, this amazing career. And we never really sat down and talked about it, and so I want to kind of like do that today. I want to kind of, get a little bit more into what that was like for you. And
okay.
So first question I'll ask you is, when was your earliest performance that you remember?
I do want to tell you that. I do want to talk about the elephant in the room, though, first, if you don't mind. What is up with your hat? That's what I want to know. I haven't watched every episode, so maybe talked about it, but I've never seen that hat, and all of a sudden this hat is everywhere. Could you tell me a second about how that hat came to be?
Sure, I will actually. So I worn this for every single episode, every single one. And this was actually a gift. It's actually anyway. This is actually a gift from a client that I sold her condo. I do real estate also, and I sold her condo. I don't do a lot of real estate, but it came to me because she knew me from social media. So I sold her condo, and unfortunately, she gave me this hat as a gift. She said, "I think you look great in this hat." Here, I took it home, and I fixed it up, and it was in the closet for a while, so I cleaned it up, and I said, "Oh, this looks good," but I never really wore it anywhere. And then she tragically she passed away. Actually, very, very nice lady, and it was recently she passed away, right before during COVID because of COVID. And so I decided, after I spoke to her husband, I said, I'm going to wear this hat for an episode in honor of her. In my mind, I didn't say it to anybody, but anyway, that's the story. And then I said, you know what, I'm going to keep wearing it. And then I just got used to it, and I like it. So,
wow, I tell you, did not know that story was going to be so long. The last freaking question I asked.
Now, inside the hat, there's a whole story. So my first show. Yes.
Excellent question. I was the World's Fair was in Chase Stadium in 1964. 1964 World's Fair. And I was 6, 7 years old. I was with a a little Russian folk dance group. I was the smallest. I was so cute. And then a bigger guy. And there was what's called the International Children's Pavilion. That's still up. That's the uneven towers. Used to have a revolving restaurant on the top.
Yes.
In the bottom was International Children's Pavilion. We followed 3 or 4 Japanese girls singing "Happy Talkie Talkie Happy Talk." You don't forget these things. And then we did a little Russian. I did a Russian folk dance number. Like I was 6, 7. I did all the moves. The split jumps, the feet things.
Yeah.
That was the first one. So then I just was always involved in some sort of folk dance company. After that, not really for money. Was always a passion, a hobby. It never had to work because my father eventually, as I grew a little older, made money, and I kind of worked for him. But the biggest notoriety thing that I did was
well, we're gonna get to that.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Don't give away everything yet. See, normally I can't do that to my guests. I can't be like, stop. But with you yeah, and yet with you, I can do that. Well, if you can go like this, if you want to say something, then I can do this. So, okay, so wow, that's really early. That's really early.
Yes.
Did you feel at that moment, did something hit you that you were just like, wow, this an adrenaline or something that you felt?
It's very funny, when you're that young, it's just like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. This is, it worked.
Wow.
It was, just work, and was excited, happy to do it.
Yeah. Were you encouraged by Natalie?
And my mother was always a dance enthusiast. And rather than have someone babysit for the kids when she went to dance class, she used to take them with her. So I used to sit in the classroom, on the floor and watch the dance classes. I think that's how it kind of got in.
Yeah.
And she sent me to ballet school. My first ballet teacher was very strict, and it turned me off of ballet. And unfortunately, I didn't stay with ballet when I was very young, when I should have. Went off jazz, tap, ballet, did African, did everything, which was great. And then I went back to ballet training later.
So yeah, I mean, I knew both your parents and stuff, and they are the most amazing people. Like, they're just a wonderful, creative family to come from. They definitely loved creativity and being alive, and just being very expressive. And I love that about them. Was your dad busy? I know your dad loved to go to jazz clubs and listen to jazz and stuff. That was a big thing for him. Did he go see you a lot as well?
Did what?
Did he go to see you perform?
Yeah, I mean, when he could. I mean, from 1985 to 91, I was with a dance company, but we traveled the world. So,
right.
He couldn't see it, and he never wanted me to leave him to go to travel. I would tell him the day before, I'm going to Europe for 3 weeks. Because I knew the moment I told him, he would say, where are you going? No. So
yeah.
It wasn't best for that, but
right.
he the best supportive father ever. Bought you everything. It was nice.
Yeah, that's great. So let's talk about that world traveling. How does that? I don't know anything about dancing troops. Do you audition for that? Is that how that works?
Very funny. This group, I was with a small unknown little folk dance group that just did local stuff, and this girl in that group wanted to audition for this bigger traveling group, and the only thing that she had to show them was a duet, a dance with another person. So she took me along just for the audition. Now it's much more difficult to get men as a dancer than women, and long story short, they took me, they didn't take her.
Oh no.
So that's how I got into that. Otherwise I would have never even auditioned for them. And then but that is the only way I like to travel, is to be a part, like a work to work, perform and work, as opposed to just a tourist. But what was nice about this group is we would go from town to town. So we would perform in one town, then sightsee and perform in another town. We went to China. That was the first tour, which I could have quit after that because it was just amazing.
Wow.
Every town was with the huge, big statues, and they treated us like royalty. And it was when we left there, 2 weeks later, Tiananmen Square riots.
Wow.
We performed in Romania. We left there. Ceausescu.
Oh my God. Wow. So that was some powerful dancing you did there.
Very powerful dancing.
Second.
It was an international dance company. Everyone had their specialty, but everyone was also dance trained so they could do everyone else's dance.
So when you're with a group like that, you have a lead choreographer, those kind of things, or
the company had some years behind it, so there were some established costumes, dances, choreography, and then as new dancers came who had like a specialty thing, they would add their dance. I didn't choreograph, I didn't add anything, but there was certainly enough Russian, Ukrainian, Eastern European folk dances for me to fit into, and show off my thing. And then we actually went to Russia.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
I'll never forget the moment when I was on the big theater, Russian stage, American, standing there going, I'm going to do your dance now.
Oh, man.
It was very nice. They were kind.
Yeah. Did you find it that there was a little bit of people kind of like, we've been, or were they pretty nice?
Whenever we traveled, that's what these other countries had, was warmth. You didn't speak their language. You connected with them more than anybody else in your hometown.
Wow.
Sure, when you came back, it was, it's nice, all the amenities, but the people, no, funny thing, the small towns would make us these lavish dinners, treat us wonderfully. But as you got to bigger towns, even in Europe, it was like big towns here. It's like, so another dancing group, so big deal. Right. So the bigger towns harder to, make an impact. But the little towns, so happy to have us. Wow. Oh, and we also did DOD, Department of Defense tour. So we would perform for the American military based in other countries. And that was exciting. Performed on battleships, not the greatest stage.
Right.
Very hard floor. But the guys would always help us with, carrying all the equipment. We were like a traveling circus. We had all the, the speakers, the paraphernalia, costumes. We just when we would go to the airport, we had like 9 road boxes, Oh,
wow.
Big deal.
So that, did you have people that went with you to set up? Like there was another. We
had like one techie. We had one techie who do all the, the electrical stuff, and the it was the guy whose company it was a what's that word where you humanitarian. You spend your money to help, fancy. That's it.
Okay.
I can never be on a game show.
Yeah. You just call me. You got one phone call.
So he would send us to these countries, but there was a guy he wasn't a dancer, but he had a good he was the artistic director, and he had a good eye and would just, sharpen and clean up dances and stuff.
Yeah.
But that was all. The dancers, the techie, and the philanthropic guy would come sometimes with us.
So the relationship between the dancers, how, is dance, how is that? Like, is dance community like a really loving community, or is it very competitive as like a lot of other ones?
I could only talk about, the group I was in. We got along so well, so chummy, I think it's almost like when you make you're making a movie, you really get to know your people, and you think you're going to hang out with them for the rest of your life. And like, once the show is over,
right,
you don't see them again. But no, we were very fortunate that we were a very nice, warm, tight, friendly, very outgoing, friendly group.
Yeah. Did you do a lot of dancing for kids? Did you do a lot of like jump?
Yes. We did a lot. We did children's shows as well, but we definitely did nice fancy theaters. In China, the children were so cute and colorful. Everyone, once you're of a certain age, everyone's like blue or green or something like that. The children so colorful,
Oh,
and I didn't perform per se, but I would fool around with them, like just in the streets and stuff, and I would just get just gangs of kids. Some of the parents were like, "Please take them back to America."
Well, I've definitely experienced that with you because I know that you're dancing in. I remember a bunch of times, but I remember one particular time we were in some restaurant having.
Yes, I was going to tell you to tell the kids about it. Tell the folks about that.
This was such an amazing thing. We were just having a meal at some Spanish restaurant, and this music comes on, Spanish music. Clayton can dance any kind of music, right? So he jumps up in the middle of the restaurant, and he jumps up and he starts dancing, and everybody's like, "Oh, all these Spanish people," and he started
John
dancing.
Gets very embarrassed. Though. Just want to tell you. First,
oh yeah, no, I was
sit down.
I was mortified. I was just like, that's yeah. I just met him outside. I don't know. But
then the owners and everybody, the cooks,
everybody came out, and and I remember there was a woman that came up to me, and she's like, "Is in Spanish?" She's like, "Is he Spanish? Él es hispano." Él es hispano, ¿verdad? And I was like, no, he's not. He's Jewish. And yeah.
I have notes. I must get to my notes.
Oh, you have notes. Wow. Okay, cool.
Just a little bit. I'm checking them off. I've done a bunch of the things I had set to do. Okay. I just want to tell your guests to write in, like right now, any questions, no holds barred. I share everything.
We have a few people here. We have Matt and saying, "What's up, Clayton?"
Matt Briggs, Matt. Oh Matt. My God. John, when you die, he becomes my new best friend.
Funny, I was gonna tell you the same thing about Frank.
about Frank.
Frank. So here's Frank. He's like, "What's in the hat?" And this is my niece, Anna. She's saying, "Hey, Clay." And of course, this lady here. You were there when this happened.
Pamela.
And I don't know what that means. Hopka dancing. I don't know what that means.
Chopak.
Oh, hopak.
I would have to take. I'm going to move the camera. Is it there? But I put marks where you told me I should put the camera.
Oh, what are you going to do now?
This is what Matt wants to see.
Oh no. Oh, okay. Oh, that's what that's called?
Chopak.
Ah, I didn't know that's what it was called. Okay.
Chopak. It's also called Polzanok. It's a few names. Thank you, Matt.
Nice.
While I'm moving the camera.
Go ahead. You have notes, so I want to.
I got the notes.
I'm gonna use that photo to promote the show. I'm gonna use me like this and you like this. All right, go ahead.
So first, I'm a little tired because the last 2 days, where I work, it's like a townhouse, and there's a basement that's like a horror movie. It's like it's packed, the ceiling is low, but more than that, there's pipes, right? Water pipes, drain pipes, electrical pipes. Guess how many times I hit my head today?
Oh no!
Take a guess.
I'm gonna guess 3.
Yeah, I want you to take a look for yourself. You see the marks right there?
Oh my God! What the hell? Like 3 or 4 times? 5 times?
About 5 or 6. I don't think. Yeah, it was every. Oh shit! So annoying. Oh, I could mark that off my list. Guess how many times I hit my head? I got more.
You really worked on this, huh?
Well, you tell me you work so hard. I figured let me write a script. You can sit back, relax. But so many questions you have. Okay.
I know. All right, so go ahead. You said you had some stuff that you want some questions. We'll get to
questions.
Yeah, But I know you said it, you had a list of stuff. So what do you got before I start asking my questions? Because I'm gonna just keep asking.
Oh, I'll just go like this when I want to bring it in. Sure. In case I become famous or run for office and people want to find dirt on me, I'd rather come out and confess everything first. And I'd like to do it with a song.
Oh God.
To all the girls I've loved before, who traveled in and out my door, I'm glad they came along, etc., etc.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they're all thrilled
Did
to
that
hear
go over?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to. So let me show you a photograph. This is it's the height. Can you see that? You're doing a split.
You mean this? You mean this one?
Oh, look what you did. Oh, you were all ready.
I was
I
ready
didn't
for
have to
that
take it
one.
off my sister's wall.
Yeah, no, it's one of my favorite photos, man. I mean, look at this. Now what is this called?
What is it called?
Yeah, what is this called? I mean, a leap?
A split jump. It's a split jump. It's like the jump I do in the Russian dancing. It's just a split jump. But that was in St. Thomas. And that's not photoshopped. I jumped. There was a brick wall with like the ocean behind it. And I jumped up high and the photographer bent down and took it.
I am like so, and I have it down here on the bottom of the screen also in case, because to me it's like such an incredible shot. And you know what I find more amazing about it is your expression. Like you're literally flying and you're just enjoying that flight. You know, because I was like waiting to land, you know, hey, you know, but you have this you're like smiling, like you're just enjoying the. It's so amazing.
Well, you know, when you go like that and your hands split, you feel good. Here's a shot of me in Greece.
That's a nice little breeze.
Here's a shot in Greece at the Parthenon.
Oh,
I went
wow.
with the dance group.
It's hard to see, but I wish I would have had that photo.
No,
but I can
we'll
see
do
it
that next time. So I'll know that doesn't work.
Now I want to ask you. I don't know if you have something else you wanted to say, but I want to ask you about a photo, and I'll show it when you're ready.
Sorry.
I'll show. So Frank Maglio says it's a great shot.
Thank you,
Frank. And so tell me about this photo.
Well, first of all, I'm the one I would say on the left, but I don't know if things are reversed. So that's Nureyev in the clown outfit, and so somehow I got to perform the Joffrey Ballet. It was a very big ballet company in New York. They've since moved to California many years ago. The Joffrey company, they weren't doing super well. Rudolph Nureyev, a lot of your young kids have no idea who he is. But it was
he was like legit
dancer. His career wasn't doing too well. Anyway, they got together. They did an homage to Diaghilev, which was a Russian choreographer. And Nijinsky, who was a big famous dancer of his day in, I guess, the late 1800s, you know, Nureyev played his part. So anyway, there's a dance called Petrushka, and there's a couple of carnival scenes where they needed some like real Russian folk dancers. Like, you know, they're ballet dancers are trained, but they don't like go squat down or do certain things. So I was hired, and the Joffrey dance, you know, they felt like there was something. So no one like kowtow to Nureyev, but I'm like, you know. Right. So I just became a little buddy. And that was a shot backstage, and you can't see it in the photograph, but his right hand is on my ass. Very slick. Doesn't show in the picture.
Right. Had to go there. So when you're surrounded by somebody that can dance like that, you know, sometimes it gets as an actor, if you're around a really great actor, somebody very well known, you kind of want to gush a little bit and maybe talk a little bit too much. And was he very receptive? I mean, obviously with the hands, but was he very receptive to you as a dancer? Was he friendly with everybody?
We took company class, and he was standing behind me, and he said, "You should point your feet more."
He said that to you?
I was not very trained. They only used me
Right.
because I was like at my Russian moves, but I was a
Right.
little lacking with the ballet. But no, it was fine. And then after the run, we performed. But the nice thing is we performed at Lincoln Center in
Wow.
I forgot what the name of which theater in Lincoln Center, the
Like
New York State Theater,
Avery
the New York State
Fisher.
Theater, which is now a different name now. And we performed in a Broadway in a Broadway theater, which is not even there anymore. So I got to perform this Russian folk dance I've been doing all my life, on Broadway and Lincoln Center. So
Wow.
so that was nice.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So I want to have another photo here that I found. Now, I wasn't really sure if this was you. I was I was saying, why does Clayton have this picture of John Ritter on his?
So this is when, after I graduated high school in 1975, my parents went to St. Thomas, and they got to know this guy who owned like almost half the island. And my parents got to stay on this little island off the mainland, and me and my sister went to visit them for a weekend. We stayed 6 months because I got involved with the local dance company. So I was, I guess, 18 years old, had hair, and and that lady, her husband was the photographer who took the split jump. So everything comes around.
It all
So
ties together.
she wasn't in the company or anything. She would take the classes in the dance school, but we just kind of did that as a photo shoot because, like I say, her husband was a professional photographer.
Wow. Did he take the picture of the ass grabber? No.
That was 85, 86. And the other one was 70, 76. That's 10 years later.
Yeah. So when you look at dancers now, is there anyone, because you were doing this very structured classical dance, where there's heavy disciplines in it. And then around that time where you mentioned, Michael Jackson was like the guy, right? And his dance thing, everybody was saying, "Oh, he's the greatest dancer," and all this stuff. What were you thinking during that time when you were like doing this incredible technique dancing where it took a lot of discipline, and then you see other dancers, Michael Jackson, and I love Michael Jackson. I was just saying, like, what does the dance community think of that, if anything?
I don't follow the question 100%. I don't know the answer.
So, like,
I know what dancers thought of Michael Jackson?
What does a yellow light mean?
Slow down.
So in right when you were at the height of your dance.
Okay, first of all, hang on. I don't know if there was a height of my dance. I wasn't disciplined, really. I know.
All right, right when you were dancing
on Wikipedia. No,
you're being modest, which is okay. But right when you were dancing, right? Were there any dancers that came out that you really appreciated?
Okay, well, it's again funny you say Michael Jackson, because when I went to, I'm not going to be, I really can't answer your question, but I'll talk about Michael Jackson. All I remember is being in camp. My parents sent me like away for the whole summer for sleepaway camp. So what am I, 7, 8 years old, something like that. And they're playing Michael Jackson, ABC, easy as 1, 2, 3. And that was the very first music that I danced to. So I feel like I actually was weaned on Michael Jackson, grew up with Michael Jackson. We were the same age,
Yeah.
And I would love to at some point, actually, I mean, there's Michael Jackson impersonators. They try to like be like Michael Jackson. I would like to do like an homage to Michael, because I still love those songs, just really just get my blood going. Yeah. And I would just do my own Michael Jackson feel, but Clayton mood, Right. Yeah. I love Michael Jackson.
That's awesome. And we have Troy saying that we're having too much fun here.
Get Troy out of here. Get him off. Look, we're going to take a short commercial break now, and we'll be right back in a minute. How are we doing? Do they like us, John?
Is that, do you have any a composition composer you connect to the best dance performance in your career? Do you want to read that question, or or can you not read that one? If I read it, will you understand it? I know you didn't understand my question, but
again, alternate base.
okay, I'll read it. Do you have a composition composer you connect to your best dance performances in your career?
Yeah, I'm a disco man. Earth, Wind, and Fire. I have a whole list of songs actually that I wanted to play and have like John videotape me just improvising in the park. But any of that Michael Jackson, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Donna Summer, I hear that music and I just lose it.
I talk about that kind of music all the time. Like, I think it's the best dance. Like, there is nothing like, I hear some of the house music or whatever is out, to techno, whatever. And you can't really dance to those kind of things. But when you hear, like, my son loves Michael Jackson, and he loves "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough." And that beginning. I mean, it's like, oh, I mean, it's like, what in the world? It's so good, you know what I mean? So you can't help yourself but dance, especially if you're a dancer. Do you actually keep up with like dances today, like or music of today, like dancers and stuff?
No, I've been developing myself as a person, right? And as I'm doing that, my dancing is just actually evolving into my own kind of style and feel. And what happens when you get older, hopefully you can do it before you get too old, is just that confidence, that freeness, Oh, someone just sent me a text saying funny as heck. Thank you, Phyllis.
Oh, cool.
What were we saying?
You were talking about
we both forgot what we were talking about.
What happened? We're talking about your dance evolving.
Oh yeah.
And confidence, because that's definitely something that as you get older you get more confidence in the craft.
So what I have now, what I do is I take my Russian folk dancing, I take my disco, I take my jazz, and it's just all melded into one. I know you wanted me to give dancers advice.
Yes, I'm going to go into that. I just wanted a question here by Sean. Oh no, actually, he's talking about Earth, Wind, and Fire had such a tight horn section and jazzy chord changes. They really did. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people can appreciate a lot of the music that came out during that time, because it seemed like it was just for this. But when you really dissect a lot of these songs, they're really, really great.
It's probably why, not knowing all those musical techniques or knowing what's going on with the horn section, that's probably why it moved me, because there was just so much work done, wonderful work done on those stuff.
It really was.
Barry White had something orchestra, right? I mean, with like whole band, and
yeah, he was so good.
Yeah, I saw him live in concert. Are we viral yet? Do you know? Could you tell? That's just another note I have here. Also, what do you call this? Is this a vlog? What is this? What are we doing here?
This is a video interview on a bunch of different platforms.
But does it have a name? Does it it's not like a vlog?
It's just the JHS interviews.
And I tell you why I asked, because I want to make it. I want this episode to win an award for this like a vlog. But this is an interview. So
well, if you create the award,
I'm gonna create the award.
You might win it. Maybe I can't even promise that.
50 shows in, I would think you'd have a house band by now, John. What?
I have just one guy. He plays the triangle in the corner.
I'll take it.
So let's talk a little bit about other dancers out there. As a matter of fact, I interviewed a dancer here a couple of weeks ago. A wonderful dancer. Her name is Danielle Jackman, and I just messaged her to see if she was available to be on tonight. She had to finish up some work, but she might actually stop in. But one of the things that I asked her was about motivating people there in order to get them to not pay so much attention to criticism, because criticism in this business, I mean, we are in the business of, of criticism. I mean, it's judgment, right? I mean, you're being judged in art all the time, and if you take that too hard, it does actually affect the art itself. So, did you experience anything like that? And can you give any words of advice to anybody out there about judgment and those kind of things?
I think it was more exciting when I posed the questions. Sure. What? One of my papers is advice.
Ah, good. So go down to that paper you wrote and just go to that word that you wrote and then just do that.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
You can do it.
So a couple of things, just, because I first of all, take a ballet class, take a basic ballet class. It's just a wonderful fundamental structure to have, because it's like when you want to play jazz or anything, you study classical music. So same with dance, you just can't go wrong taking a ballet class. Be free. Oh, learn not to be introverted. Don't look at yourself. Evaluate. Don't second guess yourself. But the thing is, here's the thing. The important thing is to work. You're always going to have to work with people, and the tricky thing is finding a group of people that don't criticize you, don't suppress you, that they support you. Can you always find that group? No. So if you're in a group, you have to just steel yourself. You have to toughen yourself not to react. There are there's I took what's called a success through communication at a place where I work. It's called Celebrity Center, and you learn all about communication. You learn how to communicate and how not to be thrown off by what anybody says. And you get to a point where you're just very comfortable with yourself. It's not a forced thing. So you're going to have to work on yourself if you're going to be with people that aren't going to be loving, nurturing, working together as a tight group, a tight supportive group. But that's eventually what you're going to have to do, and even your manager, your accountant, all these people, ultimately it would be great. It'd be great if you had everyone working together as a nice tight group, and like a relationship, you're not going to always find the perfect person. You sort of have to work with yourself and work with that person to make them, good people. So you're going to have to, at some point, not just be total effect, but be cause, and you create the environment that you want, rather than the environment creating you. Is the best way I can put it.
Yeah, and one of the things I also talk about is about holding your position. Knowing what you've actually know and being able to rely on yourself to give you that strength, that whatever comes at you, that you have this stability that you stand on.
You don't have to add to what I'm saying.
It's such an
interview yourself. You want to give advice? You got me, okay?
See, but right now I'm holding my position in space. I'm really holding. So I'm not. I'm not going to.
I want to acknowledge you as a wonderful interviewer, and I'm sure all the other people, just want to take a moment to congratulate you on this thing that you have been doing and putting out there, and bringing everybody to the platform. Not only artists, but real estate people and any kind of worker, anything. Yeah. So nice you do that.
I appreciate that, and I talking to you is fun because obviously we have a different communication where that whole thing that you were just talking about having that somebody around you that just does not criticize you and does not, that's there to help you and as a friend, that right there is so important to have, and that's why I value your friendship so much. And I may not answer my phone all the time, but I text you back.
Now we're gonna have to have one of these every week, because that's what we're gonna have to have. So,
actually, my StreamYard is actually expiring at the end of the week. Just kidding.
I brought a special guest today.
You brought us. Oh boy, here we go. I'm afraid to.
And you should be. Mike Tyson, yo! All right.
It's so ludicrous. It's so ludicrous that he's here.
This is actually a Mike Tyson stool. I'm sitting on his lap.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, there you go.
Okay.
So, do you have anything else on that sheet of paper, or can I actually ask you a question?
I think I actually checked everything off.
Really?
So that just shows you how good you are that you let me communicate.
Well, now you're in trouble. So now what's next?
Well, I was going to do this, but it never came up.
Yeah.
I was hoping you would say something. I would say, you're out of order. You're out of order. This whole court is out of order. So there you go. I got to do everything.
Yeah. So let's make some 70s movie references, and we'll.
How old is your people?
I'm sure everyone on here is gonna get that. Well, Sean, he's 19, so but he's very well versed in so I'm sure he'll know exactly where that's from. So Clayton, I do want to ask you something. We talked a little bit about, we broke down the some of the things people have run into, artists in particular. The suppressive person usually, the artist is a magnet for suppressive people that just want a piece of something that they can't have themselves. They can't create it. We've seen so many artists in history just get their lives taken away from them. And it's usually somebody that we don't even know their name. It could be somebody, I think about so many artists, the whole 27 Club, I think about those guys, 27 years old, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, Kurt Cobain, the people that are around these geniuses that were not able to actually, somebody was sucking the life out of this person. How well versed were you back then when you were dancing, and now in spotting those leeches that are out there? And
again, my dance career was just not really very much out there like that. I was always with, nice small groups, supportive groups, yeah.
Yeah. So today, do you ever run into stuff like that?
Well, now just, in life, once you get to know yourself more and people more, you really do, you got to do the work. You got to do, you have to find out about yourself and about others so that you, like John says, you're able to hold. It does come down to holding your position in space where you're not thrown. How are you not going to be thrown by these people? By knowing what made them be like that, So you have to do you got to do some philosophic studies, otherwise you just have to try to, control your reactions.
Yeah.
That's all, just one little thing I remembered I want to say about maybe feeling not confident, not about the suppressive thing, is that whatever you do, whatever thing you do is always going to be someone who could do that thing better. All right.
Right.
So that's not the point you want to get to. That to be the better, whatever, anything you do, is somebody's going to do it better. Now they may never make it to the light. They may do it better than you in their cellar,
Right.
But you do something, and it's that special thing that you do in combination with other things in your life. That combination, like a safe has a combination, and it'll only open with those combinations, right? So you add that special thing you have with the other elements that you are, because you're that pianist, you're that dancer that's like this, not like that guy. So your life is different. So don't ever compare your level of skill, because that'll always I can't. He's doing it so much better than me. I can't. But no, that's why you have to gain that self-confidence and know that you have, that specialness. You know.
Yeah, that's always seems to be a big thing for people. You know,
Mhm.
that whole.
And I'm thinking now about the suppression. You know, communication is something that you have the right to give, and you have the right not to give. You have the right to receive. You have the right not to receive. So if you're getting shit, can you say that? Are we going to be censored? So if you're getting shit from somebody, just look at them and go, all right. You know, because the thing is, they're going to continue if they see that it triggers you. If they can get a reaction out of you, they're going to continue. The moment you just like stay, like either just say, all right, or just nothing, it'll just blow over. It'll
Yeah.
blow over. But
Yeah,
the moment you cry, the moment you they're gonna.
that's what they're looking for. They're looking for that weak spot. If you just
Yeah.
look at them just the way you said, and you're like, okay, then they'll be like, wait, that's not right. Ah! And then they just kind of shatter. 'Cause that's the thing also. And suppressive people are usually very, very weak and very insecure and very hiding
They'll
something.
crumble.
They'll crumble real easily. You know? So, that's one of the things also that I talk about with the guys. Sean Manuel, who's here, watching. He's part of band here in Bayonne, Jersey, and I've kind of taken them under my wing. They're just a bunch of great guys, great musicians. I tell them that, you know, you're gonna get people that are gonna say certain things. You have to make sure you take it, and whatever that is, you gotta be strong enough to take the communication, or at least listen to it. You don't have to go into agreement with it, and just keep moving on. You know, and that's really an important factor of being
Right. Everyone just wants to know that they were heard, right? So even if they're slamming you, you let them know that they were heard. Like, I got it.
right.
Okay. And then I'll be all right.
Yeah, like, okay, I gotta go home now. Kick the cat. So let's wow, we're almost at an hour.
I know. I could plug one thing while we're talking about like nice things in life. There is an organization called The Way to Happiness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're like about 21 precepts. Precepts is just like how to be, how to live. Nothing terribly exciting, but it will bring happiness. And it's now I think this is backwards, right? It doesn't say TWTH, right?
No, it's
It says
fine.
HTWT. Should it be like?
No, it doesn't. It's to you it does, but to me it's fine. Clayton, put it the right way. Oh my Lord.
So that stands for The Way to Happiness, but if you just put twth.org, you'll see it. And it's just something to grasp onto. And if you follow these things, it's not religious, it's not weird, it's not spiritual, it's just things, you know,
It's workable.
Practical things for life, and you can't help but be happy if you know them.
Yeah, actually, we have them on our wall because I want the kids to understand that, you know, these are just ways of living and ways that you can actually they're just practical ways of living. You know what I mean? It's none of it, no one will ever read and be like, no. You know what I mean? Like it'd be like pretty weird if somebody did do that. Hold on, we have a question or
I'll say hello. I did want to say hello to anyone who's watching me that I know. Like I put a link out in my performing arts high school alumni, class of '75. So anybody who's watching there, hello.
Cool.
Any
oh yeah, this is Phyllis. Thank you very much for tuning in, Phyllis, and thank you, Troy. Let me see. I think I would like to submit a motion to extend this episode past the hour mark.
You come here and stay here and do this with him.
So, Clayton, one of the things that I do want to actually say is that, you know, your friendship does mean a lot to me. You know, like I said, you make me laugh. You're just a funny guy. You're outrageously funny, which is what. And well, I wish I could tell some of the stories, but some of them I can't even tell because some of the things are so hilarious. But
tell them about our rehearsal last night.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably won't do that just because it's like to censor the whole episode because
It wasn't a rehearsal. Like I'm not computer literate, so he had to show me how to,
yeah, it was pretty sad.
how to come on, how to, be, do, have.
First of all, he was trying to call in on his rotary phone, which that was the first. And I was like, wait a second. Are you on your
Doesn't work on
rotary
this?
phone?
Doesn't work on this?
But yeah, no, but it means a lot to me, and you're just a part of the family and stuff. So I appreciate you doing this. And I definitely would love to have you back again. And you know what? We should do an episode where we talk more about like things like the way to happiness. And for me, it was 25 years that I've been using the way to happiness and all the other tools and stuff. And I've managed to carve out a nice little existence for myself. And there's a lot more to go. So for me, it's just a workable thing. So we definitely should do something in the future and talk more about it.
This episode has been brought to you by The Way to Happiness.
Sean says he tried his pager. He tried a pager. We have plenty of people all on here. So, Clayton, any final words for your audience, for your friends? What do you have planned for the rest of the year? How are you doing? COVID and all that craziness.
I have been living my life really the same. I'm a doer. I go to work and do my thing, not stop. But from now to the rest of the year, I plan on working cleaning my apartment.
Yeah, you have a lot of things. It's not a dirty apartment. It's not dirty.
No.
You own a lot of.
John came over about 20 years ago. There was a pile of T-shirts. He lifted them off a couch. I went, those T-shirts move.
True story. He had so many folded. They were so folded so perfectly. It was so weird. They were stacked up perfectly. But yeah, anytime you need that, of course, I haven't been to New York since early March, but I will come in and help out over there for sure.
All right, yeah, but I plan on as everyone should, exercise, stretch, eat well, sleep well, have plenty of water, just the basics, man.
Yeah.
And just educate yourself. If you want some direction, you can call John. You can find me on Facebook. I'm more than happy to, communicate with you.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
So we have 4 people watching us. Is that what happened?
No, there's a lot actually.
But they're like
commenting or just I don't know. I guess your friends are not really
I know my performing arts kids would just not make it.
Hey, at least I showed up.
That's right.
All right, Clayton, thank you so much. Love you, man. I will talk to you soon, of course, and we'll definitely have you back on again. It feels like the time went on really, really quick, and we can just kind of talk nonsense for like another hour and just have a great time. But we're gonna wrap it up, and I want to thank you for your time and for all the advice and everything. I appreciate it.
I would be nothing without your viewers.
Thank you, man.
It's not true, but anyway, it's nice.
I figured it's okay. That's why I want
to thank you. I'm just trying to say thank you for tuning in, those who have. And for those of you who didn't tune in,
they'll see this in the replay. They'll see this in the repeat. All right. Thank you so much, Clay. Take care, man. All right. Well, there he is, Clayton Bartner, and we get a nice. I'll end off with Troy Dane saying, "Great job, guys! Thank you very much. Thank you, Sean, for the praise. I guess I call this praise. I appreciate all of you so much for tuning in. Yeah, you're right. We could go on and on. We're a whole comedy team. I think when it gets really going. But I want to thank everybody who tuned in. Again, if you like these interviews, please subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell for notifications, and also share it with people. And I appreciate it. As you guys know, eventually this is going to show on BronxNet TV, and we're going to have some episodes up there as well. So anybody in the Bronx, we'll see you soon. All right, folks, thank you very much. I will see you next week on Monday. And for now, as always, peace.